Last time on Pro Rough Stock, bareback rider Jared Keelan took another step closer to reclaiming the top spot in the PRS World Standings. He rode Shadow Man of Greenleaf Brothers Rodeo to 83.5 points and leads the way going into today's final 4 rounds. In bull riding, Missouri's John Mincy regained the form that led him to a title last year in Louisville. His 87-point ride on Buck and Jack Flash will be hard to match. And in bronc riding, Goodwill, Oklahoma's Nat Stratton finds himself leading the pack as he rides in his very first PRS Wrangler Final Four Showdown round. Who will emerge as the champions of the first ever Amarillo Open? Find out right along with us as the rides start right now. Welcome once again to Amarillo, Texas. Amarillo is the Spanish word for yellow, and yellow looks an awful lot like gold to these riders, as today we'll give away 3 of these Trace Rios buckles to our saddle bronc, bareback, and bull riding champions. Hello everyone, I'm Justin McKee along with world champion Kelly Temperman, PBR finalist and the amazing racer Corden McCoy. We're pleased to have you here on RFD TV tonight for the Wrangler Final Four round here in Amarillo, Texas at the National Center in the Texas Panhandle. The bareback, saddle bronc, and bull riders have been narrowed down to the top 4 in each event, and they'll be riding for their share of $30,000 here tonight. Now, Kelly, let's get right to it with the bareback matchups.
Yeah, well, it's fair to say that Jared Keelan is on fire. Last week, he won the round here at Mercedes, Texas. He won the long go and the short go. And tonight, he's got a horse called Ramblin' Man of Greenleaf. Now, this is a World Finals bareback horse, and in my opinion, he's got the best horse tonight in the Final Four matchup.
As we get ready to ride, just a reminder that you can go to ProRoughStock.com at any time for more info on each of the riders, including up-to-date stats and personal profiles. Let's begin with a man who is brand new to the PRS. It's rookie Tyler Staker of Atkins, Texas, just outside of San Antonio. He's going up against Mojo from Greenleaf Brothers.
He's got that old school bareback style for sure. One thing about this kid is he's got to get to where he's beating the horse to the ground with those feet. He's got to get in that front end. You could see right out of there, as soon as he marked the horse out, the horse just got away from him and really wasn't that good of a horse because of it. You can see right here, when he's not in front of that horse's feet are on the ground before his feet are in contact. That actually hurts the horse and allows the horse to move away and get away from him. So kind of cost himself a little bit in the ride.
I tell you what, I'm impressed, Kelly. You know how much he stays right on the rigging and not getting as much drag as you would think. That's pretty impressive.
Look at the arm on that guy.
That's what I needed.
75 points. He'll total 152 as we go now to Cody Anglin. Cody Anglin from New South Wales, Australia, on pressure point from Klein Brothers. In the long go, he was an 80.5. He needs a 72 to take the lead.
Well, with this set of horses, 72 points is not a big deal in the Wrangler Final Four.
This horse has got about an 80% buck-off rate, and I don't really know why. I knew he mows away a little bit, but
I know why.
What?
You see that rigging moving. You remember, like, two spot and all them horse. That
those
rigging.
are hoppers.
When that horse come left there, that rigging went to going. That rigging got long right there.
Well, yeah, he started everything good with his feet, but you could see where when you have a horse that's strong and powerful like that, when you try to hang on with your legs, you're giving that horse the power to just yank the tar out of you. You've got to go at that horse.
Looking at him hold his hand, I know where the pressure point is.
Yeah, buddy.
Right there on the hand.
There you go.
Here is the number 9 rider this year from Eastland, Texas, by way of Florida, the hog hunter, Jared Smith. There's a lot of hog hunters, bareback riders that love hog hunting. You know
I love this little horse. He's out of line, kind of hard to track, meaning, he bucks in a different pattern every time. And Jared, he's always going for it, always trying to hit him in that main line. But Cinco didn't have the best day today. He was really sporadic out there trying to move away, trying to get away. And Jared just kind of did everything he needed to get a good score.
But all he needs is a 71.5 to take the lead because he had that 81 in the long round on last week's show.
Did you see him right there when that horse made that move and wanted to get away? Jared just stayed consistent with those feet, picked that horse up, and made him better. That was a great ride.
He's 81 again, 162, and that puts the pressure on Jared Keelan. Jared trying to move to number 1 in the world standings. He could do it with a win here. The Kansas Cowboys on Ramblin' Man from Greenleaf Brothers. All he needs is a 79 to win.
World Finals horse, he's big, he's strong, and he's going to yank you on you out across there. And see the difference with this horse and that one Cody had is Jared's going at him. He's ripping those feet up to his rigging handle, setting them before that horse's front feet hit the ground, and taking that power away from the horse and instead of giving it to the horse to use it against him.
Oh, that looks absolutely the ride that Jared Keelan needed, and the score is coming in. He's got plenty. He's 85 points. Keelan is going to win the event and move to number 1 in the world standings. So that coaching by his 4-year-old son, Gunner, seems to be working very well. Gunner, keep up the good work. 168.5. He blows the doors off the competition here in Amarillo. Right now, Jared's with Kayla Zadell.
You know, I had that horse once before. I got to tell the story. He bucked me off and rapping at the rodeo. I was so excited to have him again. I knew that'd be enough to win it on if I could do my part and just sit down and ride him. When he first left the gate there, I remember that familiar feeling of him hitting real hard, and I was thinking, just keep going, Jared, just keep gassing. And thank the Lord, you know, it just kept working out, and he kept jumping underneath me.
Now, what would your son say about this ride?
He'd probably be tickled with Dad just because I didn't get bucked off, and he'll get another belt buckle, so that'll tickle him.
So he gets the belt buckles then?
He always gets first choice. Yeah, I just wear the same one, and he swaps them out every week.
With his second win of the season, it looks like Jared will move past Matt Bright back to the top spot in the world standings. More on that later in the show, but right now, bull riding is on the horizon, and young John Mincy takes an impressive lead into the final 4 round. But he'll have tough competition from veterans like Sonny Murphy and Ronnie Kitchens. Rough Stock Bowl 4, the 2015 PRS World Finals is coming to Amarillo's National Center January 15th and 17th, 2016. Don't miss any of the action. Reserve your seat now by going to ProRoughStock.com, and be sure to visit the Rough Stuff store for all your official PRS merchandise. Just go to ProRoughStock.com and click on Shop. Gordon McCoy, as we get ready for bull riding, we've got a pretty impressive list of riders in our Wrangler Final 4 Showdown round.
Yes, sir, Justin. Jared Craig, Sonny Murphy, Ronnie Kitchens are in the lineup. These guys are veteran bull riders. The youngest of this group is John Mincy. He wants to make a name for himself and is doing a great job at it already by winning Louisville and having a very impressive ride in the Longo. Someone's going to have to cover 2 bulls to win the buckle here in Amarillo.
All 4 of these bulls we saw in Mercedes, and the Cowboys were 0 for 4 against them. We'll see if history repeats itself here in Amarillo. We're going to start off with Ronnie Kitchens of Fort Worth, Texas. Black Warfare from Knapp Rodeo is the bull that he's going to stay or try to stay on here, Cord.
Well, Ronnie, he's seen it all. I won't say there's any bull that he hadn't seen the move, but man.
Oh, boy, there's 2 things we've seen a lot of, and that is Ronnie getting his head raised to the rafters and Ronnie getting knocked out.
Oh.
That is not pretty. Ronnie used to wear a helmet like a lot of these guys are opting to go back to the cowboy hat.
Well, you know, that's tough. I think it's like boxing, though. After you get hit so many times, you kind of get a glass chin. I don't think Ronnie needs to. Oh, he took a good hit.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he got the baseball bat in the chin.
Boy, he did.
He's up and going.
He's up.
I tell you, they're nothing tougher than Ronnie Kitchens.
Unbelievable. He took a wallop right there on the chin.
If I know Ronnie, if they had got a rewrite, he'd have got on him too.
Ooh, pow, right in the kisser. Here's Jared Craig. Jared Craig is on Danger Zone, and J.C. Knapp Rodeo Company brings this one for Jared to try to stay on.
Well, Danger Zone, it's a good draw. You know, Jared Craig rode his first bull, had the option for
Rough
rewrite.
Stock Bowl 4, the 2015 PRS World Finals is coming to Amarillo's National Center January 15th and 17th, 2016.
The sweet spot.
Don't miss any of the action. Center of that
Reserve your seat now by going to ProRoughStock.com,
and be sure to visit What a Ride for Jared Craig for all your official PRS merchandise. Just go to ProRoughStock.com and click on
you could ride 10 seconds and just
Gordon
look for a
McCoy,
nice
as we get
good
ready for
spot
bull
to get
riding.
off. He
We've got
tapped
a
off
pretty
with him,
impressive
kinda going
list of
over his head
riders
like
in
he
our
needs to.
Wrangler Final Four
Great
Showdown round.
ride, Jared. Yes,
Can
sir.
you kinda
Justin,
call
Jared
that
Craig,
the
Sonny Murphy, Ronnie
calm
Kitchens
in the
are
eye
in
of
the
the storm?
lineup.
Is there
These
such a
guys are
thing?
veteran bull
Well,
riders.
you know, they
the youngest of this group is John Mincy.
Danger Zone, but
What a nice guy for Danger Zone.
2 rides for Jared Craig. Now let's go to Sonny Murphy on the right stuff from PRS Bucking Bulls. Here's the Utah man. He's been to the Wrangler National Finals, but it's been several years. Kind of another comeback story for this guy.
Oh, you know, we talked about at the top of the show, there's veterans in here. Oh, it just got tipped over into his hand one time and paid for it. You know, that 8 seconds. That 8 seconds is just is forever. It just seemed like he's got him rode, and I know he's kind of thinking the same thing. And then all of a sudden, one step and just whoops him over into his hand there.
Seemed like a long time. He seemed like he was on the back of that bull a long time. Tough break though. You know, I learned a long time ago you cannot argue with the stopwatch because I never won an argument with it before.
Well, there's some rides I think I counted 8 3 times before the whistle blew, so I don't know.
All right, it's all about John Mincy from West Plains, Missouri. Here's the man who's just barely 20 years old, came to us through the world's toughest system, made the finals last year, finished in the top 4, the average, and he's going for a win. He had a big monster 87 in the Longo, and he's going to put another big score with that one.
Oh, he wasn't kidding. Last bull, he won the long round going the other direction. This bull goes into his hand. He just kind of shows his versatility. Little bull. Last bull was a big bull. I'm telling you, I'm impressed with this young guy. He stepped in here today in the Final 4 round and showed the veterans how to do it, land on my feet, and walk away.
John Mincy making some big-time moves here in Amarillo, and he can hear the crowd now. 86 points. So John Mincy is the first man to ride the bull in Bogo. He gets his second career win. He won in Louisville last year. John Mincy right now is with Kayla Zadell.
Okay, John Mincy, you rode Mimbago in the Final 4 round for 86 points. Tell me about your ride.
Well, he was kind of dirty in the box a little bit and kind of roughing me up, and I finally called for him and he got out of there, and he kind of had me in there and welling me a couple of times. You know, it's pulling you on the inside of the spin, and I was just trying to stay out of there and keep hustling, and then he wanted to throw me out of there, so I had to try to get back in there, and it was just hustle and try the whole way through, and it pays off.
So how does it feel to win your second PRS buckle?
Oh, these deals, I love these deals. I wouldn't rather go to anything else. All the people are great. The stock, you couldn't ask for any better stock, and they're awesome events to go to.
No doubt, John has put himself smack dab in the middle of the race for the top spot in bull riding the world standings, and we'll total up his points later on and see where he moves to in the rankings. But next up is Saddle Bronc. Eric Wolford will have yet another chance to surpass J.J. Elsher for the lead in the world standings. Will he do it, or will it end like it did last time in Mercedes? We'll find out next. Get to know your pro rough stock riders personally each week with the official PRS podcast, Masters of the Ride. You can find it from ProRoughStock.com. Just click on Podcast. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. Kelly Timmerman, the world standings in Saddle Bronc are beginning to look a little familiar, with J.J. Elsher occupying the lead spot, but not by much.
That's so true. At this point in the season last year, J.J. led the pack by 3,100 points. Today, he only has a 245-point lead on Eric Wolford. Eric's got it done as far as getting into the Final 4 round. He'll have Baywatch, and the two of them will need to be in the 80s or better. And he has to hope that JJ bucks off. If so, Eric will have a shot at taking back the top spot in the world.
First up, Kaler from Sulphur Springs, Texas, the number 9 rider in the world on Air Walker from Greenleaf Brothers. Here's the man that in Lexington made the Wrangler Final 4 Showdown round, finished third in the average. He's trying to move up and get a win.
You know, that first ride that he had, he didn't really mark that horse out very good. He came back in this Final 4, and he fixed that. That was a really good start. That horse just was not very good today.
Now, sometimes you just got to call it as you see it. That looks to be the case here. Justin Kaler needed a lot more here in this championship round. Horse ate up a lot of clock in that run, and then didn't have a lot of kick when he did get in the air. So the score is going to reflect it, only 68 points for Justin. Probably not going to be enough to hold up against the likes of J.J. Elsher Eric Wolford and Nat Stratton. Here is the number 1 rider, the reigning champ of the world. Here is J.J. Elsher, and he is going up against Blackjack from Klein Brothers.
Familiar foe. This is his 4th time on this horse. He's tapped off. He's going down. Same old, beating the horse to the ground. You know, Blackjack was a little bit longer than we've seen him in some of the other events, but still, great ride and a great horse to draw in the Final 4 showdowns.
JJ styling and profiling. He won 6 events last year. He's only picked up 1 win this year. That one was at Roanoke, trying to add number 2 to his title list here this year.
Roanoke on that same horse.
Same horse, yeah. Blackjack from Klein Brothers, been good to him. 83 points, he'll total 162. And that will put the heat on this man, the number 2 rider for the year, Eric Wolford on Baywatch. And now he needs to be an 80 to take the lead. He had a little advantage coming in here with his long round score.
Well, you could see when that horse left there, he had a lot of rain out in front of him. Just, you know, he's just not getting those starts and staying aggressive with those feet and staying ahead of that horse. And she, you know, and
something hurt him. It looked like he double grabbed before the whistle.
I think
there.
he did, because I don't think we're getting any numbers in for a score.
Well, I'm sitting on the right side, so he didn't lose his right pedal, and I wonder what might have happened on the other side because I didn't see it.
Right there.
Rain got around his foot, but I just seen him double grab.
His feet were in there.
No, they got him. It's a no score. He reached down somewhere.
Well, he did have that neck injury last year.
Oh, maybe just jerked on him a little hard. I knew something happened because that's not the Eric that I know.
All right, so young Nat Stratton, the 20-year-old, originally from Okeechobee, Florida. Robert Etbauer told me this guy's got a lot of talent. He's been on the rodeo team at Oklahoma Panhandle State, went to the college finals last year for Craig Latham's team. He's on Badlands Bay from Greenleaf Brothers.
This is a Final 4 world champion saddle bronc horse, and boy, it didn't take him long to dust the talented cowboy.
He stuck that right foot up there. You see it went right over the rein and just hung there. Oh, I'd love to see from the other side again. Oh, no, he come around the other side. He didn't. Somehow the rein got on the other side. Oh.
Looked like he just got over there on that right hip.
Well, it wasn't black for going to him. I'll give him that.
Did you say the rein got on the right side of his boot?
Yeah, that's what I was trying hard to figure out there. He spurred over the rein the other way.
That horse moved a little bit to the left, set him on that right leg, and when he did, he just let that old right arm with that rein just go out across him, and
he goes down.
He might have needed a little bit more rein.
Yeah.
I think he might have just hung there and it jerked him over into that rein, maybe.
I don't know. It's a no score.
I bet you there's enough bronc riders in Goodwill to help fix that more than I could. So
all right, that means J.J. Elsher is going to get the win, and right now J.J. is with Kayla.
Okay, JJ, it seems like you keep running into this horse, Blackjack, and it just must be the lucky pick for you.
Yeah. Shoot, every time that horse is on the list and I actually make the 4 round, we match up and it works out. So that was kind of a different trip tonight than I'd had her before. She'd went a little farther down the pen and was kind of moving around a little more and changing up a little bit and was a little harder to ride than before, but still tickled to have her.
So JJ goes from 3rd place coming into the Wrangler Final 4 showdown round to 1st place for the championship. More to come from Amarillo as we highlight the top performances of the night and update the world standings. Rough Stock fans, stay in touch with the PRS through one of the many social media channels. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to us on Instagram. Also, Pro Rough Stock has its own channel on YouTube. Watch past episodes and more behind-the-scenes videos from the tour. Gentlemen, let's check out the latest updated 2015 World Standings. Now, keep in mind, the top 12 riders at the end of the season are invited to the 2015 PRS World Finals, and Jared Keelan right in that number 1 spot, and that's where he intended to be.
Yeah, it's been a race all year. I mean, Matt Bright has been leading it. Jared Keelan jumps up there, bottom, but do not count out Jared Smith. He's coming on really strong, coming back from an injury last year, so it's going to get tighter as we go on.
And in the bull riding, man, Shane Rickley finished the finals off with a win last year, has stayed in the number 1 spot most of the year. But let's talk about John Mincy going from nowhere to somewhere.
Oh, you talk about the young guns this year. John Mincy is just skipping right on up there. An impressive 2 weeks in a row, winning the round, winning the Final Four round. Garrett Tribble, there is some young guns in there. You know, you kind of wonder what you're going to do when Super Dave retires and McKenna Wimberly is out, and then you see these guys show up, and it's wow.
That's good stuff. Jared Craig moves into the top 10 with his performance here in Amarillo as well. And in the saddle bronc riding, a very familiar position for J.J. Elsher, and Eric Wolford comes up short again.
Yeah, you know, I talked to Eric Wolford, and he is a little bit sore from his neck injury last year. He used to be riding bareback and saddle bronc, but now he's going to focus just on the saddle bronc riding. So I hope for him to get healthy and come back real strong later in the year.
Time to award the Kershaw Cutting Edge Performance Highlight of the Night. And Cord, who do you have?
John Mincy all the way. Mbogo, unridden bull, and he gets tapped out with him. 86 points to win the Final Four round and get another championship right here in Amarillo.
Look at that. He was working like a rented mule.
Oh, I think J.W. Hart can hear the crowd, too. There you go.
There's nothing like the best ride, and there's nothing like a Kershaw, and there's nothing like being 20 years old. And now let's hand it out. The top bucking honors with the Bismarck Ranch Big Buck of the Night. This award goes to the top performing animal. And Kelly, who do you have?
My Bismarck Big Buck of the Night has got to go to Badlands Bay of Greenleaf's brother. This horse was at our finals our World Finals here in Rapid City, and she's just showing off her classic style she normally does. This was the horse to have in the round, and I bet you that next time Nate has her, he'll be the round winner.
Our Bismarck Big Buck of the Night is sponsored by our good friend Neil Wanless and the crew at Bismarck Ranch, where they promote sustainable agriculture. Bismarck Ranch, ranching the way nature intended. Next week, we move back to the Pacific Northwest and a return trip to the home of the 90-point rides, where last year we saw more 90-point rides than any other event in PRS history. Everett, Washington, and the second annual Cascade Challenge. For Gordon McCoy, Kelly Timberman, and Kayla Zadell, thank you for inviting us in your homes today. I'm Justin McKee. See you next week.